This is BBC News. I'm Yalda Hakim. The headlines. Russia has invaded Ukraine in a major military assault by land, sea and air. There have been explosions reported near major cities, including the capital, Kiev. As his army moved in, Vladimir Putin issued this warning to the world.
Whoever tries to interfere with us or threaten our country should know that Russia's response will be immediate and lead to such consequences that have never been experienced in history.
In the capital, fearing the worst, some are desperate to leave. Their president calls on the international community to help his country.
This morning, dear citizens, this morning's gone down in history. But this story is different, both for our country and for Russia. We have severed diplomatic relations with Russia. Ukraine is defending itself and will not give up its freedom.
NATO and Western leaders have responded forcefully to the attack. Their attempts to find a diplomatic way out of the crisis have failed.
Sadly, what we have warned against for months has come to pass. Despite all calls on Russia to change course and tireless efforts to seek a diplomatic solution.
For all his bombs and tanks and missiles, I don't believe that the Russian dictator will ever subdue the national feeling of the Ukrainians and their passionate belief that their country should be free.
Welcome to the programme. Russia has launched a major military assault on neighbouring Ukraine with attacks by land, air and sea. Leaders around the world have condemned the action, with President Vladimir Putin accused of bringing war back to Europe. Let's just recap the main developments in this rapidly unfolding crisis. Russian forces have launched an invasion of Ukraine, crossing borders and bombing military targets near major cities. In a televised address, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced what he called a special military operation in the Donbas region and warned of an instant response to any outside powers resisting the attack. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country's armed forces are involved in heavy fighting and has called on citizens ready to defend the country to come forward. World leaders have strongly condemned the offensive. NATO Secretary General says a deliberate, cold-blooded and long-planned invasion by Russia is a grave moment for the security of Europe, and confirmed NATO had activated its defence plans. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says our worst fears have come true with a vast invasion by land, by air and by sea, and promised more action against Russia in the coming days. It's as leaders of the G7 group of nations meet to discuss how they will respond to the rapidly developing crisis. Paul Adams reports.